My second speaker represents the Experiential Health and Healing Program, and I'd like to introduce you all to Michelle Traub.
You'll have to bear with me. I haven't given a speech like this since 8th grade. This is entitled, It Begins With You. Courage is being afraid and moving forward anyway. All of those graduating today possess courage because embarking on a degree in an emerging field of study is not an easy journey. I'm sure you've all had to explain just why you would seek a degree in conscious evolution, holistic thinking, oral traditions, or integrative health and healing. You were likely asked, just what are you going to do with such a degree? My answer to that is simple. I'm going to be a better human being. Throughout the IHH program, I kept stumbling upon a beautiful quote from Howard Thurman that aptly sums up just what we should all do with our degrees. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. What I've learned through the Graduate Institute transcends the additions of letters after my name or the piece of paper we call a diploma. It has truly made me come alive. Throughout the program, I was told to speak my truth and live an authentic life. Oddly, those are not lessons I had ever been taught. I had learned to say what everyone wanted to hear and to worry more about what others thought than what I really wanted. However, through the examples of our many inspiring and open instructors, I learned just how important it was to be true to myself. And I came to understand that our honest, authentic, human stories have the power to heal and inspire each and every one of us. I'd like to now share a piece of my story with you. Before beginning the Integrative Health and Healing degree, I was a mess. I suffered from severe anxiety that made it difficult for me to even leave the house. Just 2 years ago, there was no way you could ever get me to stand on this stage in front of all of you. I had become completely consumed by multiple autoimmune diseases, which many medical specialists had essentially told me were never going to get better. That proclamation left me drowning in negative emotions. Bitterness, frustration, anger, confusion, and fear. I was just a bundle of nerves. I worried about my health, money, the economy, the environment, and the general state of the world. Every negative news story on TV, and we all know there's an abundance of those, would send me into an anxiety attack. I was literally a shell of my former overachieving self. I considered myself a spiritual person, but I wasn't even sure what that meant. My first weekend at the Graduate Institute started a new chapter in my story. On the drive to class that evening, a flurry of negative emotions came to mind. Although the back roads between my Hampton home and the Bethany campus should have offered a peaceful and tranquil drive, about 5 minutes into the trip, I became overwhelmed with fear and slowed my car a bit, thinking, why am I doing this to myself? I should just go home. I'm not ready to be in a group of people. I don't need another degree. Not one to normally talk to the divine, which I later learned was part of my problem, I found myself asking for a sign that continuing on to the Graduate Institute was the right decision for me. Just then, a deer ran out in front of my car. I slammed on the brakes, but I was already so close to the animal that I was surely going to hit it. My car stopped, along with my heart for that brief second. Shaken, I quickly realized that not one, but 2 deer had safely passed by. By the laws of physics alone, I should have hit that first deer. Yet both deer and my car remain unscathed. I had my sign. The signs have not stopped since. I cried during that first night of classes. I certainly hadn't planned to. I had shared my challenges with illness and my frustration with the medical system, and as I looked around at the faces of my new colleagues, I saw compassion, empathy, acceptance, and I felt the gentle hand of my new friend and colleague, Eileen Carino, on mine. I knew I was in a place of safety, a place where I could truly be understood, a place where I could finally heal. Months later, after learning about shamanic tradition, I came to understand that deer symbolize gentleness. And according to the medicine cards, I was destined to connect with the centering place of serenity because the Great Spirit would guide me. The Graduate Institute has truly become that centering place for me. Rachel Naomi Remen wrote in her beautiful book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, "The places in which we are seen and heard are holy places. They remind us of our value as human beings. They give us the strength to go on. Eventually, they may even help us to transform our pain into wisdom." That too is what the Graduate Institute has become for me. I sincerely hope all of my colleagues have felt the same. The beautiful sign that came by those deer had a name, which Bud Stone explained is synchronicity. Synchronicities are those seemingly coincidental occurrences that carry so much meaning that they simply can't be explained by chance, but rather are proof of how closely connected we all are. Synchronicity is that phone call from a friend just when you are thinking of them. It's a word of encouragement or an uplifting song just when you need it most. And it's the overwhelming feeling that you're being drawn down a path that others may not understand, but you know in your heart you are meant to follow. I completed this program because of synchronicity, and I suspect many of my colleagues did as well. All of those who come to the Graduate Institute are connected in a very special way. We are a united family. Emerging fields of inquiry come from a common experience steeped in dissonance, fear, anger, hope, love, and joy. We are bound by a universal reality, that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. The purest beauty of the Graduate Institute is that we are allowed to be the hero of our own journey. Each of us followed a path paved by our individual passions and beliefs. Although we were all stretched, pushed, pulled, and inspired by our instructors, Sherpas, and colleagues, we each experienced our learning through our own unique lens. Still, many themes rang true for all of us. The need for finding balance, the importance of listening carefully to both ourselves and others, the understanding that we must surrender to our challenges, the revelation that we are all one, and the realization that we must seek the good in everything and embrace life with an effortless, grateful heart. That last point, I believe, is the most important, because it is sincere gratitude that motivates me to battle through all my past anxieties and fears to stand before you today. Gratitude is a powerfully transforming emotion. When we are thankful for all that comes our way, we are able to see every challenge as a gift and replace fear with love. Dina Pakwa, a TGI alumnus, experienced a near-fatal car crash. Rather than wallow in pity, she saw the experience as an awakening and went on to become a shaman. She shared the following quote with my cohort. "Most people call on God when their world is shaking, only to find that it is God that's doing the shaking." Likewise, Caroline Mace said it beautifully in her fall 2011 lecture, "Take your demons and make them your house pets." Bud Stone also reminds us that dissonance is what helps us to learn and grow. It is the challenges in life that truly empower us to become better, smarter, more successful people. But first we must accept those challenges as the blessings they are intended to be, and we must surrender to what is. Although we have all had different experiences, I hope that every graduate today feels a sense of accomplishment, empowerment, and gratitude for this experience. On your behalf, I would like to extend the deepest appreciation to all of our loved ones and friends who have supported us through this journey. The path of a student is in many ways a solo one, which means our time has not always been available to those who care for us the most. Your understanding and support of this truth is a major component of our success. So with that, we thank you. And I would like to personally thank my husband, Carl, my Sherpa, Denise Romano, my kindred spirit, Debbie O'Brien, and all of my colleagues, as I could have never made it through this journey without your support. Likewise, I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude to all of the staff, instructors, and Sherpas, especially Sherry Specklin, Bud Stone, Andrew Suma, Gina McCaffrey, and John Norris, for your wisdom and vision, which have made the educational experiences offered at the Graduate Institute so enriching and life-changing. In closing, to my fellow graduates, I want to remind you that one of the core philosophies of the Graduate Institute is to uphold a sense of wonderment and awe. I urge you to go forward with that sense of wonderment, awe, and deep appreciation, and to spread that throughout your world to your loved ones, your children, your students, your patients, and your coworkers. I discovered meditation during my program, and one of my favorite meditations ends with a particularly fitting affirmation, and I hope you will take to heart. Your loving compassion explodes for sharing with your fellow travelers. As you heal yourself, you heal all who cross your path. Your connection to others heals you as you move to your new level of evolution. You are the incarnation of universal healing. It begins with you. Thank you.
Thank you for those beautiful words and sentiments, Michelle.